Jester, level 17 upgrade. And there it is, HiTech's 5085 digital micro metal geared servo. This is going to be replacing the one that's in there now because, as you can hear, yep, gears are broken. Shut up. So let's go and open this thing up and check it out. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. This slides right on off. As you can see, we have the brackets in order to hold this to a side, used for airplanes and stuff like that. Now we're going to go ahead and get the top, pull this off. Alright. Check it out. Brand spanking new. Inside of here we have, I'm going to assume, the arms. Yep. And a little bit of extra hardware. Cool. Let's go ahead and get this thing installed. To make things a heck of a lot easier, I'm going to go ahead and remove the motor by undoing this screw, and I had to take off the gear cover by undoing this screw. Pop off the gear cover, open the battery doors, slide out the ESC, and now get the motor, pull that off to the side, pull it back, set that off to the side, and now I'm going to undo the 4 screws that hold the receiver box together. So I'm going to pull off the wire tie down and then lift the receiver box cover and move that off to the side. Now I'm going to unplug the old servo, which is in channel 1, pull the wire out. Now I'm going to undo these 2 screws. Once I take care of those 2 screws, I can easily pull off the servo guard, and now I need to undo this screw that holds on the steering arm. Now I can go ahead and pull off the arm, set that off to the side, and pull out the servo. And now it's time to go ahead and install the new one. Now if you'll notice, the wires come out right out the side. So what I'm going to have to do is put it in there at the right angle, then push it in, and it'll go down. If you don't do that, you're going to mess up the wires. So next, I need to go ahead and plug this into the receiver and straighten it out. Got a battery plugged in. Turn on the remote, make sure that the steering trim is at 0, and now turn on the ESC. That straightens out the servo. Now I can go ahead and unplug everything and hook up the arm. Make sure that the front wheels are absolutely as straight as you can possibly get it, and then snap that arm on and then put on the screw. Now I can put the servo guard back on, flip it over, and reattach those 2 screws. Now that the servo's installed, I need to get the wire and feed it right through the base of the receiver box. Pull it on through, adjust it to the right length so there won't be any extra slack, and then I'm going to go ahead and reattach the wire tie. Next step, I need to go ahead and plug it into channel 1. Now it's time for a fun little step. This little lip goes into this slot. And now I got to push all the wires into the receiver box and lay this down just right. And then I reattach the screw on each side. And now I can go ahead and finally reinstall the motor in ESC. Just got to push that onto the peg, just like that. With the pinion and spur gear, they need to have the proper spacing. You can just stick a piece of paper in between the gears and then tighten this screw, reattach the gear cover, slide the ESC in, close the battery door, and it's time to test out that servo. Turn the ESC on, and let's see if the servo works. Perfectly. Quick, responsive. I love it. And I am finally done with this upgrade. For the first time ever, Jester has a brand new servo, and I definitely need this servo. I do plan on putting a 2.4 gigahertz radio in here, and that can only work with a digital servo. The old one was analog, which will not work. Only with 27 megahertz, which is what I have, but not for much longer. And that was Jester's level 17 upgrade.